And one of the things you write is that psychotherapy is a sacred act. And I
Mhm.
thought that's an interesting assertion.
Yeah, I do feel that. I feel we have a calling. We're entrusted with the souls and the bodies of our patients, really, because they're connected. Uh, we must listen very deeply. We have to listen in a sacred way. We're always listening to the meaning, beneath
Mhm.
the words.
Yeah.
It's like an I thou relationship that Martin Buber talks about.
Hmm. Yeah. And you mentioned the Kabbalah earlier, and without going into too much detail, because I know that's a huge that's a huge
Huge.
topic area.
Yeah.
But what is it about the Kabbalah that nurtures your thinking and approach?
Oh, I don't know where to begin. It's so vast. Um, I like that it started out in order to it's about transformation,
Hmm.
and that's what I'm interested in too. Uh, and that's what psychoanalysis is about. So it started out to transform Judaism because it had become too intellectual and too rigid, really. So it's an opening up, but it's also an attempt to transform the individual.
Yeah.
Because as the individual studies the Kabbalah, he too is transformed.
It's
And
interesting that I think each of the major religions has a mystical component, sort of
yeah,
a breakout group uh,
right.
that wants to be more in touch with the source, if you will.
Yes. And there are some psychoanalysts who are very much in line with this, like Wilfred Bion. His thinking is very much in line with the Kabbalah. He says,
How so? Because I've heard his name in a lot of interviews, but I've never
mhm.
read any of his work.
Well, he's very much about kind of before it was popular, he talked about the unconscious communication between patient and therapist, or you could say between man and God. When I say man, I mean woman too, but
Sure.
I just for the purposes of our talking.
Yeah.
Um, and and Beyond's idea is he has two, he has so many ideas, but anyway, two ideas are that the analyst is in search of O, the letter O. And by O, he means many things, but he means almost a Godhead, almost an absolute truth, something that is everything and nothing. And to find O, you have to empty yourself at the beginning of the session like a mystic does.
Mm.
And you cannot remember anything about the patient. You just want to be with the patient. And the Kabbalah also is a search for the truth. And it also, if we have time, emphasizes the void, the importance of the void. And this is one of my favorite concepts in Kabbalah
Uh-huh.
because God, according to that myth, they have their own myth about the creation of the world, that God contracted to create a void to create man. And the word for void in Hebrew is ayin, and that means nothing or darkness. But ayin also means everything because it's pure potential. And out of this
Mhm.
void comes something. And Beyond wants you to be in the void in the beginning of the session so something can happen.
Yeah. So something can happen. I was wondering if awe would be a good translation of O. Is the
Uh-huh.
analyst maybe seeking to get into that place of awe?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.